to himself. What the? Love letters. It's not even Valentine. Who's this from? Anonymous lover. Who the? Later that day, calculus pre-test grades result is posted on the notice board. All students are checking their results. Oh my god, we did so well on that exam. So easy. Sara is secretly watching everyone. Sara said to herself, easy. Maybe I also did okay. Sara goes to check her result. Sara searches for her name in the list. Sara cries after seeing her result. Sara says to herself, this is the worst grade I've ever gotten. Why is it so low? What was I thinking? Vicky's a terrible tutor. At least Subway Boy knew what he was talking about. I should cover this up. It might hurt someone's eyes. In class, Patrick is thinking about letters. Patrick said to himself, no, it couldn't be her. She told me I was ugly yesterday. Tammy. No, she totally hates me. That girl over there. Nope, I don't even know her name. Hannah. Clearly in love with that guy. Sara. Maybe she was trying to apologize. Unless, she's still in love with me. Patrick saw Sara is telling something to Joe. Patrick said to himself, wait, is she crying? Joe's saying to Sara, hey, it's okay. We'll figure something out. Hey, why don't you come over tonight and I can? Patrick says, slamming his hand on the table. Fine, Sara. Stop crying, will you? I have finally decided to forgive you for everything you've ever done to me. Sara sees Patrick, and jumped and hugged Patrick, and said to Patrick, Patrick, you're finally talking to me again. I'm sorry for being a total jerk to you. Oh my god, you have no idea what I've been through. And I wanted to call you yesterday but then I didn't wanna bother you. Because you know how you can get in. Then I was studying for that test and I freaking sucked so bad and failed of course. Patrick thought and said to himself, what is happening? My hands. Stop. Patrick said to Sara, okay. Calm down, Sara, geez. You don't have to yell. I got it, I forgive you, okay. I was just curious to know why this guy's making you cry. Unless you were actually crying for me, which is totally cool. Joe said, oh, no. She wasn't. I didn't. Sara, I was just about to offer helping you study tonight at my house. Do you think that might help? Sara said, really? You'd do that for me? Joe said, of course, whatever it takes to get your dad's permission to come to the school festival. Sara said, wow, really? Thank you so much. Patrick said to himself, what's happening? Joe said, yes, of course, Sara. Sara said, I'll come over tonight, then. Last of all, Oliver checked his result. Oliver looks the result list and said to himself, there was a sticker in front of Sara's name. Oliver said to himself, what's with the sticker? Oliver peels off the sticker. And said to himself, that dork, how did she do so bad? First day of high school. All students are talking with another. Sara said to herself, oh my god, I hate high school already. I don't even know anyone yet but it sucks. Sara's class fellow said, you're very negative, Sara. Just think of all the boys you'll get to date one day. Sara said, yeah right. Impossible. I'm too short, and half these girls look like they're in freaking college. Sara's class fellow said, that's 'cause they're seniors, Sara. You'll get there. Someone made a paper ball in the class and threw it towards the Sara. Sara looked around in surprise, who threw this? A boy pointed out with a wink. Read it. Go ahead. His friend said, you, what you do with my paper, dude? Sara said to herself, read it. Her class fellow said, don't read it, Sara. Sara opened the paper, and read it. It was written on paper. Do you want to be my girlfriend? Sara gasped, and said to herself, what the? Boy laughs. Ha ha ha. His friend said, no, not for you. Pass it down. Boys making fool and laugh. Sara said to herself, what the heck? Sara passed the paper. Here, that weird guy's in love with you. Lunch time. Sara looks around to see which table to sit on. Sara said to herself, I guess Lululemon found her new crowd. Sara turned to other table. And goes to a table and says them. Hi, can I sit here? Girls said, okay. The same strange boy walks towards Sarah's table laughing. Winked and said, "Ladies." Sara said to herself. "It's weird kid." Boy said to Sara, "Hey, first day of high school is rough, huh?" Sara said, "Oh, it's fine, I guess." Boy said, "Oh, come on. It's not going that badly. At least you have a new boyfriend on your first day already." Boy laughs, "Ha ha ha. Okay, you totally don't." Sara said, "That wasn't even funny." Boy said, "Oh, lighten up. I'm just joking around. It was kind of funny, come on." Sara looks at him in surprise. And said to herself, "He's so obnoxious. He doesn't stop laughing." The boy said to himself, "Huh, what a good laugh. After school, Sara sees who I should go home with now." Sara saw Lululemon, who was talking with her friends. Sara walks home alone. Someone's voice is heard from behind. "Hey, you." Sara turns and looks back. The boy said, "Watch out for stalker boys asking you out on your way home." "Ha ha ha." Sara said, "You mean, you freak." Sara said to herself, "The heck is wrong with that guy?" Sara said, "Hey, what's your name?" The boy said, "What?" Sara said, "I said, what's your stupid name?" The boy said, "Oh, it's Patrick." Sara said, "Well, shut up Patrick," and turned around and walked away. The boy laughs out loud. Sara feels happy. Sara said to herself, "Despite our strange encounters we somehow ended up becoming friends. Really close friends. But somehow after you spend way too much time with someone, you kinda start to like them. As more than just friends. But you know what they say. Girls mature faster than boys. Is that why?" Patrick said, how do I say this? Sorry Sara." Sara said, "It's fine. Sometimes to lighten the tension, you just gotta pretend some things were never said." Patrick said, "What? You cut all your hair off. It looks great." Sara said, "Thanks. And that, my friends, is how you become best friends." Patrick thought, "Just kidding, that's just how you put yourself in the friend zone for life." Patrick walks alone and thinks about all these things. Patrick said to himself, "Crap, what the heck am I supposed to do now?" Sara knocked on the door. And said to herself, "Please don't be Oliver, please don't be Oliver." Door opens. Sara, "Hi." Joe said, "Come on in. It's so convenient that you live right across the hall." Sara said, "Yeah, so nice." Joe said, "Hey Oliver, I invited Sara over to study some math. We'll just be on the kitchen table." Oliver said, "Okay, do you want me to leave?" Joe said, No, stay. We won't be loud, will we Sara?" Sara said, we'll probably be talking, right?" Oliver said, "Okay, I'll leave." Joe said, "No bro. Just stay, we'll just be studying." Sara said, "I do have a lot of questions, though, so I might be talking a lot." Joe said, "Oh, do you? Okay, well maybe." Sara said, "No but it's fine, he should stay. We'll just whisper or something." Joe said, "I don't want you to be uncomfortable asking questions though." Sara said, "Right, well, maybe he should." Oliver said, "Whatever. It's fine. I have earphones, do whatever you want." Sara said to herself, "Why does he wanna stay?" Joe said, "Okay, let's get started, then." Sara said, "Okay. Again, thanks so much for your help, Joe. I was gonna find a new tutor so it's so nice of you to step in." Joe said, "Oh, of course. Math can get really hard sometimes. We just gotta keep trying. I think if we focus really well tonight we'll be prepared for the next test. That way we can just relax and have fun at the school festival, you know." Sara said, "Yeep. I'm excited to work as a team with all of you." Joe said, "You're bringing your cousin, what's her name again?" Sara said, "Vicky." "Yeah, of course." Joe said, "Right, Vicky. Great, cool. Okay. Let's do this, then." Sara said, "Okay. So, I had a question about these problems right here." Joe said, "Okay, let's see." Sara said to herself, "How did I get so lucky? Just look at him. He's so perfect and nice. This moment would have been perfect if Subway Boy wasn't always there to ruin it." Joe said, yeah. So these problems are actually kinda hard. Is it like this? Oh no, hang on. Erase. I got it wrong. Wait, like this. Huh, it's wrong again. Hey Oliver, come here real quick. How do you solve this type of problem, again? Sara said to herself. What? No no no. I didn't sign up for this. Oliver came and asked. Chapter 23. Okay, did you try this and that? Joe said. Oh, well mostly that and thaw. But isn't supposed to be this and that and that. Oliver said. No, no, it's like this. Joe said. Oh, huh I see. Sara thinks and said to herself. I guess I should have expected something like this to happen. The mobile phone rings. Joe said. Oh, it's Mom. Hang on a sec. Yes, Mom, I know. Calm down, you're okay. Joe turned and said. Oliver, could you help her out with that section real quick? I won't be long. Yes, I know Mom. Don't worry. Sara said. You don't have to do it if you don't want. Oliver said. Why? You want to fail another test. Sara said. What? What test? I didn't fail any. Oliver shows her that sticker, which was pasted in front of her name. When Sara looks at the sticker, surprised. Sara said. What? Where did you get that? Oliver said. I found it in public property. Plus it's stuck to my pencil, this is mine now. Sara said. What? Fine, whatever. You keep that. And, yes, I suck at math but you already know that. Oliver said. Okay, then let's study. Sara asks. Really? Oliver said. Yes, come on. Sara said. Well, thanks, Oliver. Oliver said. Yeah, okay. No problem. Sara said. Just don't yell at me, okay? Oliver asking. Who's yelling? Okay, well, this section's not that hard. Okay, here's an easy one. Sara said to herself. He's in a good mood today. Maybe. Oliver said. Okay, so you multiply these two, right? Sara said. Right. Oliver said. You're already stuck. I just said one thing. Sara said. No, wait. No, I want to talk about something. Oliver thinks a little and says. Okay. Oliver said. What night? I've never taken the subway. Sara said. Oh, cut it out. I know that you remember me, okay? Oliver said. Yeah, well, I guess it is hard to forget that random stranger coming up to your face asking to kiss you out of nowhere. Sara said. Okay, I get it. It was super weird. But listen, I am perfectly good, reasonable explanation. Kind of. So, you know my friend Patrick, right? Oliver said. Yes, were you trying to make him jealous or something? Sara asks. What? You're sure talking tonight? No, let me finish. So, Patrick. Well, because of never. I can't believe I'm telling you this. So I've never kissed a boy yet and he just dared me to go and ask you. A random stranger. So I could get it over with. And I know that was completely stupid of me to agree to. Obviously a first kiss should be something more special. But then suddenly, I was doing it. And, oh gosh, I'm sorry, Oliver. I shouldn't have, 'cause now you think I'm a total weirdo. Which is, totally fine I guess. Oliver said. Okay, fine. Let's do this, then. Sara said. Oh, right. Study. Sorry. Oliver said. No, your first kiss. Come on. Sara said. What? Oliver said. You said you just wanted to get it over with, right? Oliver tries to kiss her. Sara gets shocked and worried. Sara says. Wait. And tries to slap him. No. That was stupid of me that one time. I wasn't thinking. I don't want it to happen like this. I really actually want this to be with someone special. With someone that I really like. Oliver laughed haha. Sara thought. Why is he laughing? Oliver said. Relax Sara. I was just kidding. Gotcha. Oliver laughs. Sara pushes him and says. Why are you laughing at me? So embarrassing. After I told you all of that. Oliver said. Hey, you did the same thing to me, remember? That was just payback. Sara said. But. Oliver laughed. Sara said. What? Stop. Sara said to herself. Dimples. Joe said. Okay, I'm back. Mom's just having another quick panic attack about the wedding. She keeps calling me every 5 minutes. Sara asked. Your mom is getting married. Joe said. Yeah, She left my dad a while ago and now is remarrying for the third time. I know it's kinda crazy. Sara said. Oh, I'm sorry. That must be hard. Joe said. No, it's fine. It's just kind of hard when we're all spread out like this. So, I heard you guys laughing. What's so funny? Did you finally get this section figured out? Oliver said. Nope. Oliver stand up and said. Woo, it was way too difficult. Joe said. Really? Oliver said. Yes, maybe you'll be able to figure it out better. Sorry. Okay, bye. Sara said to herself. What the heck was that all about? Who would have thought Subway Boy was such a flirt? Wait, so is he gonna be my tutor again? Wait, geez, what am I taking? I have Joe now, stupid. Joe said. Huh, is it really that hard? Huh, let's see if this works. Oh, I finally figured it out. Look, Sara, this is how you do this. Sara said. Oh, yes, you're so smart, Joe. Great job. Sara said to herself. Thank goodness you're smart. Patrick was confused about the gifts and love letters. Patrick said to himself, who can send this? Could they actually be from Sara? I think Sara loves me with all her heart. She was hugging me and crying because I was angry. Oh, gosh, don't think about that. Patrick picks up a gift package and opens it. Chocolates. As soon as Patrick picks up the chocolate and eats it, he is surprised. And said to himself, what? It's my favorite mint chocolate truffle. Patrick's mom entered the room and says, Patrick, dinner is ready. Patrick's mom asked, Patrick, are those love letters from girls? Patrick says nervously, Mom, can't you knock? Mom says, I can't believe this. Someone's in love with my beautiful son. Can't stop staring at those ocean eyes. Love, your secret admirer. Oh, you do have a beautiful ocean, my son. Patrick said, Mom, can you please not read that out of loud? At that moment, Patrick's father enters the room and says, Sandy, leave our son alone. Don't you see? He's probably busy with. Sandy said, Oh, Bob, look, our son has a secret admirer. Patrick's dad said, Son, what pride? Patrick said, What? Patrick's sister kicked the door and says, What's all this weeping and yelling about in here? Her mom says, Look, Pearly, your big brother has a secret lover. Patrick's sister said, Oh, are these from Sara? Patrick said, What? They are from Sara. Patrick's dad said, Son, when a man finally decides to love a woman. Patrick's sister spoke, It's mint chocolate. Patrick's favorite. His mom spoke, They are in love. His sister said, So cute. His mom said, Oh finally. I always thought those two were made for each other. Patrick's sister asked, How long you two been dating for, Pat? Patrick said loudly, No, what are you all talking about? Why are all being so weird? Of course they're not from Sara. Leave me alone. What the heck? Patrick kicked the door and said, I'm running away. Bye. Sandy said, But I made dinner. Patrick goes to Vicky's hotel and says to Vicky that I have something to show you. Vicky said, Fine Patrick. You got 5 minutes. Patrick dumped the love letters on table. Vicky got confused after seeing so many love letters. Vicky said, Thanks. Patrick said, Know what, Vicky? These appeared in my school locker the other day and I need you to help me figure out who they're from. Vicky asked, And what are you coming to me for? How am I supposed to know that? I don't even go to your school. Patrick said, Well, because I don't know. Just help me figure this out. Vicky got thoughtful after listening to Patrick's words.